Hey, grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, whatever time it is for you right now. My name is Be the Poet, and I'm here because I wanted to talk to you a little about what's going on in these times and some of the conversations that we're having amongst ourselves, right? So a lot of us in the African-centered community and, Black community in general got different opinions about what's going on in society right now, what's the cause of COV, the different purposes behind it and all of these different things. And, some people think that it's caused by a virus. Some people think that the illness that's happening on a global scale is being caused by 5G. There's a conversation about, oh, this is all just a hoax. Some people believe that it's a hoax, and it's just being used for fear mongering and this, that, and the third. Number one, we got to stop the bickering because the bickering doesn't help. But I'm also going to say, like, yo, number two, dude, whether it's caused by a virus or whether it's caused by 5G, instead of the possibility of, you protecting yourself against one and not the other, better safe than sorry. Take precautions just in case it's both. Who said it had to be or? How about we prepare ourselves for and? How about it's a virus and it might also be caused by 5G? For all I know, maybe it's a microscopic organism that got mutated because of technology. Who knows? There's also the conversation about it being made in the lab, and it's like, hey, you know what? Whatever. Whether it's made in the lab, it's like one thing we do know is that the illness is real, right? And anytime somebody gets it, and I have a lot of friends and family that are on like the front lines because they're healthcare workers and things of this nature. So everybody's, the phrase in the community, like, yo, this shit is real. I want y'all to understand what real means. Is it real that there's an illness? Yes. Is it real that it's caused by a virus? Maybe. That's a maybe. We've had times in our history, without question, not even distant parts of our history, recent parts of our history, where we thought, they just recently, maybe a few years ago, announced that, cell phones were causing cancer, and just as far as like other precedents, and before I even get into the precedents, let's even just have the conversation that, like, yo, son, how about the fact that radiation poisoning is real? Let's just take you for a minute, just to kind of bring you in the story. Like, let's say, I don't know, maybe 5 years from now, everybody did all of these bump ups in hygiene, which you need to do anyway, right? And you were doing all of these things trying to protect yourself against a virus, only to find out that the illness was caused by something else. So you were out here unprotected the whole time because you only prepared yourself to protect yourself against one possible cause. So let that marinate for a second. What if this pandemic that is killing thousands upon thousands of people is not caused by what you think it's caused by? And you're not properly protecting yourself, or it's not only caused by what you think it's caused by. Because if you're not protecting because if you don't know the cause, then you also don't necessarily know what the proper treatment can be for prevention, to make sure it don't happen to you. And also, which is also part of the recovery process as well. So instead of us going back and forth about what the cause is, dude, I'm on a mission where I'm just like, okay, which one it could possibly be? Okay, it could possibly be that. It could possibly be that. It could possibly be that. Man, listen, I'm gonna take precautions against all possible causes. Better safe than sorry. Because you're not about to have me caught out there with the possibility, you know. And then let's even talk about the idea of radiation poisoning being that real. Because we have presidents that let us know that radiation causing is that real. We already know, this is the reason why they wear so much special equipment in hospitals doing simple things like x-rays. Oh, but it lets you see your bones. Oh, but it's also mutating your cells. You know what I mean? The same thing is also happening, when you use your microwave. That's radiation poisoning. We have full-blown conversations about that. We have full-blown conversations about the dangers of plastic. We have full-blown conversations and, and also proven history about the dangers of the radiation that come from cell phones and all these different types of towers. We have we've talked about the dangers of having fracked water. We know about the dangers of chemtrails. We know all of that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? They've got biologically manipulated material inside of the chemtrails. So literally the air that we're breathing is poisoning. So back to that conversation also where I said it doesn't have to be or, it's also and. All of these factors are part of what's making us sick. Because when you talk about health and wellness, even in a pre-COVID-19 society, guess what? When you wanted to get well and you wanted to get healthy, you couldn't just address one thing. You didn't just stop eating one food or start eating, your superfood and moringa and all of a sudden that you was going to be here. No, you had to change everything. You had to address everything. You had to address all the things that you weren't supposed to be eating, all the activities that you weren't supposed to be doing, and the things that you needed to add. So now you also got a whole transit. It's the same formula. That formula is still the same. So it's not an or. It's not just one thing, it's and. You have to address all of these things, which also includes radiation poisoning in our day-to-day lives. Because let's even hypothetically say radiation poisoning is not the cause of COV. It sure enough is a contributor. It's a contributor in your health because that also can bring your immune system down. Because that's one more thing that your body now has to repair from the damage as a result of it. So with that being said, continue, washing your hands for 20 seconds. Continue wearing your mask. Make sure you do all of that. But then also, and make sure that you're turning your cell phone off at night and your laptop at night and making sure that you're not sleeping with those things on your chest, because a lot of people will fall asleep with their phone right on their damn chest. Of course you ain't gonna be able to breathe, god damn it. It's killing the cells in your lungs first. So, take that into consideration. Make sure you're not sleeping with any of those things near your head. And if you're one of those people that has all of that stuff plugged up into your house, unplug those things at night when your body is resting and rejuvenating. Unplug those things at night, and try to put all your IT stuff maybe in one room, and make sure it's not your bedroom. Just make sure it's not a place where you or any of your family members sleep. Try your best to do that. No smart TVs, no all of that. So I really want y'all to pay attention to that, because that's a factor in your health as well. In general, that's a factor in your health. So, when you reheat your food on the stove. Or get those disposable tins. Remember how we used to have the disposable tins when we would get food, when we would order food out, and it would have the plastic cover? Those disposable tins, get those disposable tins and reheat your food in the oven. You know what I mean? So you can just throw them out after. Or at the very least, try to limit the number of times you use that stupid microwave. If you have to use it at all. Reheat your food on the stove. Create a system where that joint works for you, all right? So that's one. I want y'all to understand that, dude, radiation poison, can cause this type of death. We know this. This has been proven already. These conversations have been proven already. So protect yourself against all possibilities. The possibility of a virus, the possibility of the radiation poison, which is happening anyway. Just the possibility of all of it. Number two, one of the things that I've also noticed when we're getting these different government announcements about how to, they're giving us good hygiene information. Hygiene information is excellent. They're not, I find it interesting that they're not giving general health and wellness information though. They're not talking about making sure that you're eating a certain way. They're not talking about the health and wellness information at all. So it is our due diligence to make sure that we start to talk about what kind of foods we should and should not be eating, to make sure that we're keeping our bodies at its top peak performance. Exercise. I'm gonna speed through this stuff. Exercise. You still need to exercise, honey. Exercise so that your body is working and moving, especially now that everybody is home and life is a lot more sedentary now. You need to actively implement exercise at least into 15 to 20 minutes of your day, if not 30. Okay, go get a jump rope. Jump in the hallway if you live in an apartment building. Set a timer for 15 minutes. You can go do some jump rope and not have to be bothering nobody, and you could do it during the day. Hell, you and your neighbors could get together and decide that, all right, y'all are all going to do your home exercise and PE with your kids at the same time of day, so ain't nobody getting on each other's nerves because y'all are all jumping up and down and making noise. Okay, so make sure you get your exercise. Make sure you're doing your meditations. Make sure you're doing your deep breathing exercises to help strengthen and expand the lungs, right? Another daily tip for those of you that are going out, or you have sensitive lungs and things of this nature. Get your oils, man. Get your oils, get your humidifiers. You can also just make a home humidifier by boiling a big pot of water and putting tea tree oil and or peppermint oil, lavender oil, eucalyptus oil. I mention these oils, one, because they clean the lungs, two, and eucalyptus also can clean the air, and as well it also helps to open the chest and open the lungs. So if there's mucus in there, it'll help get rid of the mucus. But then also it's like, because the symptoms of the current illness, it has zero mucus actually. It's just a blockage, but it'll help open up to make it easier. And you want to know what else those oils and those scents can also do? They help keep you calm. They help keep you calm, and keeping calm is very, very, very important. It's very, very important, because when you're not calm, you're not breathing half the time. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious. When you are not calm, you are not breathing. Most of you are holding your breath right now and don't even realize you're holding your breath because you're not calm. Your body is not doing what it's supposed to do. So it's like those oils will also help keep you calm. And keeping calm now means that you are in the proper state of mind that you're supposed to be. So you can think. So you can think and be logical. One of the things that I do, if I have to go out, I'll take the oils and I'll rub them into my scarf, into my everything, so that I'm able to get this fresh breath of air, and so that I can, continue to stay calm. And I carry them with me. If the air starts to smell a little funny and I'm like, air's a little dry, I ain't doing that. I'll just rub it into my everything and re-up as many times as I need to. You can also sometimes take those oils and put a dab of it in your hand and rub your hands together, and go for a deep breath. So those also work. So you can put those oils in a big pot of boiling water, and then put it on a low flame, and like let the humidity, the water vapor with the scented oil in it go into the air, which will help clean the air and also help clean your lungs, and keep you calm. And you can also just carry it on you and wear it every day. And one of the beautiful things about you wearing these beautiful scents, these calming scents, these natural calming scents and cleansing scents, not only does it help keep you calm, but it also helps the people around you stay calm. So it has that effect. It has that effect. Because you ever sit down somewhere and somebody's like all the way on the other side of the car, but they smell real good. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Exchange the the artificial colognes and perfumes for the natural oils that also have these health benefits that we need right now. It don't hurt, and it sure enough smell good, and you can mix some of them up. I'll sit there and do some lemongrass oil with some mint. Let's go. Smell real good. And the lemongrass oil is a happy scent too. Brings you up, perks you up, has you feeling good, and has the person next to you feeling good. Well, even if they are 6 feet apart, they still smell it. Whatever. So it makes a difference. It makes a difference, and it makes a difference in our environment, right? So let me see. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything, so I took notes. Okay, so we talked about the immune boosting. There are a lot of people posting immune boosting foods. Garlic is always my favorite. If you're already feeling sick, my remedy is I will sweat. Sweat is my thing, man. I will put on a long sleeve, everything, hoodie, because the hoodie helps to trap the heat in. And I'll sit there and I'll mince freshly cut garlic, and I'll take the garlic once every 4 hours. And I'll do that for 5 to 7 days straight. Usually, I don't get sick because I also take it as a preventative aid. What I'll do is I'll just take a teaspoon of the fresh garlic every day. Every day. And if you feel like you want to take it twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening before you go to bed, okay. Because the key really is in prevention, so I know a friend of mine, he's Bayesian, so he made a post on he made a post on Facebook about how he was like, yo, if this was happening when I was a kid, my father would have gave me a clove of garlic. He did, and he just went through this whole list. I'm mad, I gotta go back and read it again, but he went through this list of like 7 different things. He was like, he gave me a clove of garlic, a tablespoon of castor oil, and and slapped some Vicks on my chest, and we'd have been good. And and what was funny is that in the comments, there was another one of his homeboys that posted a picture of everything that he just mentioned on his counter. He was like, I am not playing. So we got to go back to these grandma remedies. Grandma did not play, and we thought grandma was being extra. We thought that aunt was being extra. We thought that father was we thought they was so extra. And you know what? It was extra. It was real extra. But you know what? Extra kept your ass healthy. So it's time to be extra. It's time to be extra with those remedies that we know work. With those remedies that we know work for prevention. In addition to everything else. Like I said, it doesn't have to be or. It's an and. Right? So there's another part of this health and wellness situation that people are not really talking about. I mentioned on it earlier when I started talking about calmness, but emotional health. Dude, your state of your emotions has a huge effect on how well you can heal and how susceptible you are to illness. Huge deal. The only group that I heard talking about it was, the Hemtepis at the Temple of Anu. He made it a point to talk about that for a minute, and how your emotional state of being can bring down your immune system, which is very true. It's very true, but we're not talking about that enough. So while everybody, I want y'all to understand that when they do kind of get into the conversation about fear mongering, fact method is, whether you think that they're intentionally fear mongering people or not, you do have people that are hysterical. You might be one of them watching this video that's hysterical, and I want you to understand that that does not serve you well at all. So with that being said, we have to start to check in with each other, right? So because I can be calm today and paranoid in 20 minutes for whatever reason, right? So if you are the calm person in the room, use the tactics that you know to help keep everybody else calm, and for us to just make this a responsibility with each other and also with ourselves to remember what we need to do to stay calm. I mentioned the oils, and that's another way to help you stay calm. Dealing with your emotional health, having healthy outlets. Get your journals out if you feel like you need to write to help get it out. Because maybe if you write it out, you'll feel a lot better. Maybe you need to play your favorite song. Maybe you need to put on some DJ D Nice, because DJ D Nice definitely had us lit in our happy places. One thing that we know is that when we laugh, it's been proven, scientifically proven, that laughter will help you heal. It will help you heal. It will help you heal, and it will help you live better. So let's instead of bickering, let's find other ways to make each other laugh. Let's find ways to make each other smile again. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read some of these funny memes, because they are funny. Let's go. But let's find that real joy. I need to laugh like I'm watching Eddie Murphy's Delirious. You know what I'm saying? I need to laugh like that, where you just bawling and your ribs is killing you, man. So let's make sure that we get these smiles in. We're taking care of our emotional health. And if you got some things that are going on, because I know a lot of times, now, beat that we are inside, people's minds are running. People are going a little crazy. Some of us have lost some friends and family, even pre-COV. I know I had a few in my family hit back to back to back for a lot of different reasons. And I don't even know how to go through all of that. But it's an emotional state. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some of those dates are coming back around. Some of those people's birthdays are coming back around, and their transition dates are cycling back around. So we need to check in with each other with that as well. You know, I know that happened to me recently. I'm kind of still going through because I haven't actually had a proper time to grieve. Where a friend of mine passed away on January 20th, and I found out maybe about a week later, 4 days before, me and his artwork was gonna be in an exhibition. So it's just like, still houseless. The motherfucker do I nature that my friend is letting me stay at her crib, but not having my own space. I haven't even had the opportunity to grieve properly. So one of the ways that I personally have been dealing with things of that nature is like, one, I acknowledge that I'm feeling that way because I got to be honest with myself, because if I'm not honest with myself, I can't deal with it. But then also, two, making the artwork, maybe making honorary artwork, artwork honoring the feeling that you have and the person that you may be grieving over, just so that you can say that, what, I created something out of what was maybe a negative or an unhappy emotion, or an emotion that didn't serve me. I created something out of it, instead of destroying myself in the process. So find something that you can create. I do a workshop or a lesson plan where I help people to create affirmation art. So I'm figuring out what this online teaching thing looks like so that I can also, assist people in that process. Maybe you need that creative outlet to create some affirmation art, so that you can have those positive vibes and, have an outlet for you to get things out of your system. But making sure we have that emotional help. And one of the biggest parts of emotional help is, I went to a mental health aid workshop before, and I got certified as a mental health aid. And one of the things that our educator said to us was, to check in on your strong friends, right? Check in on your strong friends, right? The people that you never think ever go through anything, the people that you think, oh, but they'll be all right because they're so strong. They'll be okay because you're always used to them being stern, and that's the person that is usually the level-headed one for everybody else. I can almost guarantee you 9 times out of 10 they are going insane inside. So call them, speak to them, and be like, no, I wanted to check on you and ask you, how's your headspace? How are you doing? And then if they want to talk, you shut up and you let them talk for a minute. You know what I mean? Be the ear for once. Or at least take turns. Okay? So that's important. And last but not least, spiritual health. We've been talking about getting prayed up. I see people talking about getting prayed up. But son, let's also make sure we get into spiritual fortification. Right? So some people may, be thinking about talismans and things. Get those get those if you want to as well. For me, my meditation is key. I meditate twice a day. It's a mandate for me to stay sane. So in the purpose of the meditation is like, one, I'm bringing up my higher self and making sure that I'm balancing my energy every day, twice a day, before I start my day, and also at the end of the day, because I'm cleaning my internal space out for any junk that may have gotten in it today. So, instead of you having to do it just, if you wait until it's a whole bunch of junk in it, it's gonna be a whole lot to clean out, and it's gonna take a minute. So you do the daily cleaning. You do the daily cleaning of your emotions, the daily cleaning of your spirit, just like you do the daily cleaning of your house and your hands. All right? And you do it as often as you need to. So give your emotions and your spirit the same depth of cleanliness that you are being instructed to do of your body. External and internal. All right? So spiritual health, get your meditation on. What else? Meditation really is my main thing, but I'm also checking in with my spiritual groups. A lot of times, it's checking in, with my spiritual groups. There's a lot of like prayer lines going on out there. You also got people that are like, reading their affirmations, and speaking these words of power on a day-to-day basis. Find a mantra that works for you. Find a mantra that works for you and just say it out loud. You need to hear your own voice say it. I think that is very key and quintessential. And exercise the arts. Don't think that just because times got serious that all of a sudden that the arts is supposed to be going up. Like, nah, man. Make sure you hit up the Harlem Bomb Shelter on the gram every Thursday night at 8 p.m. It's an open mic online. So make sure you check that out. Get some things off your chest, or maybe just listen to some words of power from some other performers and people that got things going on. So that will also help as well for your spiritual growth, and whatever it is you need to do, right? So I hope this message helped you. And I'm hoping you'll pass this message on to others, because like I said, it doesn't hurt to protect yourself against all possibilities, and also and keep your joy up. I can't emphasize that enough. Keep your joy up. Keep your joy up. Even if you're feeling sad, find a way to flip that. Oh my God, I miss this. I miss this person or whatever. But you know what? Now you have time to call that person and actually have a quality conversation with them that you did not before because you were up in the rat race. Find a way to flip it. Find a way to flip it. Oh, I can't go outside. I can't go to the park. You know what? I can go outside and hula hoop for 15 minutes as a part of my exercise, and have a kid moment for a little bit. So find a way to flip it. Find a way to flip it. And it's like, where there is a will, there's a way. They always say that. When you are willing, you will find a way for it. All right? So keep your hearts in pure places. Keep your minds in pure places, and make sure that we are supporting each other at all times. I love y'all. I feel for y'all. I'm wishing y'all very much well. And for my people who are on the front lines, my healthcare workers, my doctors, all y'all. I can't even mention all y'all, but all y'all, because I know y'all are deep in that. Y'all are deep in that emotionally. Y'all are deep in that mentally. You know what I mean? So, and then I know regardless of what you do or don't think or believe or whatever, nonetheless, you still have to follow your protocol. Do what you got to do. Follow your protocol and protect yourself physically, but make sure you also are protecting yourself spiritually. Bring your organite to work one time, man. Put your labradorite on the inside of your mask or whatever it is that you need to do. So or wear it around your neck, on your chain, underneath your stuff. So when you feeling in the middle of the day, you could just kind of hold on to it real quick and remember everything that you've ever gotten, with your spiritual training, or with the spirit, or with the emotional and spiritual support that you have in your life, or whatever the source of that strength is for you. Keep those little tangible reminders on you on the daily, and always remember that the ancestors stay walking with you, kid. They stay walking with you. And we forget that, and when we're in the front lines of our lives every day. So I want y'all to remember that, and I'm walking with you. Peace.